What knowledge might save your life one day? If a canker sore in your mouth or on your tongue isn't healing in about 2 weeks, it might not be a canker sore. I'm going into surgery today, and they will likely remove 100% of my oral cancer, because of early detection. Holy crap. Best of luck. If you ever get held at gunpoint and asked to get in a vehicle, you fight with everything you've got to not do that. Run zigzag, punch and kick, do whatever even if you die in the process. Because 99% of the time, people who get in the car do not come back. Especially if being moved from a public place to a private place. If you happen to be walking near a down power line, do not take your feet off the ground. This can create a potential between you and the ground and cause a discharge through your body. Take small shuffling steps away, without picking your feet up, from the power line and call the authorities. If you go swimming in a river, always check the bottom before jumping in. Even if it is the same spot you have swum in before. The bottom can be filled in with rocks and sediment during the spring. Also, if you are swimming in a very deep gorge or quarry, it is probably best not to jump in, even though it seems super tempting. There is sometimes a second current further down, and lots of people drown by going too deep when they jump in and not being able to get back up. If you're outside in a lightning storm and your hair starts floating, seek immediate shelter. You're about to be struck by lightning. Get a carbon monoxide detector for your home and regularly check to make sure it has fresh batteries. Yeah, carbon monoxide poisoning is not fun. One moment you're leaving notes everywhere as reminders, next thing you know you're paranoid your landlord is out to kill you. Always slow down crossing a bridge during the winter. They have no insulation and will freeze before other parts of the road. Spinning out on regular road is one thing, on a bridge up in the air though. When in an emergency situation, tell someone to call 911 by pointing at them and saying, "Hey you," in the descriptive chirp, call 911. Shock is a real thing and some people need to be delegated roles explicitly. You there, control the traffic around the scene. Run to the nearest library or mall and get a defibrillator. You will see a sign of a heart with a lightning bolt through it. Delegate and be descriptive. Get them working for you. Okay, I'll run to the mall. Be back in 30 minutes with the AED. If you somehow find yourself so deep in a body of water that you can't tell which was is up, blow bubbles and follow them up. The human jaw combined with natural adrenaline is powerful enough to sever another human's jugular. That would be horribly disgusting, but very effective. If you are deep frying something and the entire F-pot is on fire, do not put it out with water. 1. Turn off the gas, electric range. Don't pour water on it. 2. Cover the pot with a lid. Don't pour water on it. 3. If you don't have a lid, dump baking soda on it. Don't pour water on it. If you pour water on it, your house might burn down and your face might melt. If I am remembering correctly as well, do not use flour in lieu of baking soda. The small particles when dispatched into the air can cause an explosion. Calm people live and panicked people die. And sometimes panicking people take calm people down with them. Case in point, drowning. Birch bark has flammable oil in it that lets you light a fire even if it's raining. When someone shouts duck, don't question it and F-duck. When I was young my dad yelled duck. And I turned and said, where, and got hit in the face with a baseball glove. It was straight out of a sitcom. Don't swim in Florida waterways at night, dusk, or dawn, because teeth. But if you should find yourself in the mouth of a hungry gator, don't go for the standard eye poke, go for the nostril poke. Jamming your finger in their nostril breaks the seal they use to keep water out of their airways when submerged and they will release you instantly. Just avoid Florida freshwater in general so you can stay clear of the brain-eating amoebas. Almost no one survives them. Fighting mental health sometimes requires medicine and counseling. Don't be too proud or scared to seek help. There is no such thing as a fair fight. If it's a life-threatening situation, fight dirty. Attempt to bite if you are pinned down, and press the base of your thumbs onto their eyes if necessary. As soon as you get the opportunity, run towards the nearest place with people around, and report to the police. Obvious, but often people view fighting as a boxing match. Oil fire plus water equals chaos. This thread is making me very nervous. There are no winners in bar fights. You'll probably end up in jail or and at the very least get kicked out of the bar. Just let it go, walk away. Do not text and drive. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, then move to the other side of the street or change direction, or don't go down that dark alley that moans. If there's a moaning dark alley, I don't think you need your gut to know you shouldn't go there. Yell at a knife, whisper at a gun. If you yell at an attacker with a knife, there is a small chance that could startle them and they drop it. At the least, you are attracting attention, and can get out of the situation. Always whisper at someone with a gun, or at least, speak slowly and calmly. If you yell, that could startle them, and you could get shot. Most weapons are used as intimidation, so if it's your wallet they are after, talk calmly, give them your wallet, and back away slowly. What are you going to do? Stab me? Thought I'd be on fire more often. Stop, drop and roll is embedded in my brain as much as my knowledge of how to draw an F in cursive. Yeah, but F is easily the most fun letter. If a hostile dog is confronting you, do not run. It can outrun you, and the minute you turn your back it'll see it as a sign of weakness and may attack. Instead, keep eye contact with the dog and try to find something long like a branch or pole. Face the dog and start slowly backing in the direction you need to go while shouting at the dog. If the dog comes at you, hit its face with the branch and shout. It will most likely back up out of the range of the stick. Use your phone to call for help if you can. If you come into contact with a bat, get a rabies shot as soon as possible. Bats have very small teeth, and they can bite you without you ever knowing. Moreover, bats are much more likely to bite around the head, which means the rabies virus can reach your brain a lot faster than if, say, a dog bit you on the leg. The virus is slow enough that you should have time regardless, but don't ignore it and don't dally. P.S. After the onset, there is no cure for rabies. That's why OP is saying not to dilly-dally. Cancer screenings can save your life. If the doctor finds a polyp during your colonoscopy, it can be removed to prevent it from turning into colon cancer. If abnormal cells are discovered during a pap smear, the cells can be destroyed to prevent them from turning into cervical cancer. Bring a small mirror or reflective item whenever you're going someplace or doing an activity where you could end up stranded. The shiny reflection from a mirror can signal rescue aircraft much more easily than most other methods. If you want this to work, it has to be a signal mirror that you know how to aim. Signal mirrors are remarkably effective. Trying to signal with a plain old mirror, not so much. Always checking where the closest emergency exit on an airplane is. Same with packed concerts or events in dark venues, it's good to take a quick scan to see where exits are in case something serious happens. If you pull a weapon in self-defense, use it immediately. I've known a number of people to be seriously injured from hesitating. Also, never burn poison ivy, ever. Okay, elaborate on that poison ivy personal experience. Kangaroos cannot jump backward. I'm surprised this isn't higher. But don't move someone after a serious head trauma. You could potentially dislocate their spine, causing a permanent vegetative state. You're supposed to ask them to lay still until paramedics arrive and help them hold their head in place while crouching near their head with a hand on both sides of the head. You're only supposed to move if there is an immediate danger, like after a car accident and there's a potential for the car to catch fire. As you age and experience those minor ailments of life, such as bad knees or frozen shoulder, get them fixed. I'm 54 years old and I have personally watched healthy family members ignore these issues and act like cowboys, only to be put in nursing homes way early because they can no longer walk or care for themselves, simply because they never had these things taken care of. TL, drive, have your mobility ailments taken care of prior to old age and you'll live a longer and more independent life. Performing CPR only prolongs the person from going into full cardiac arrest, it doesn't cure them. The defibrillator is what sets the heart back into its regular rhythm. Also call the ambulance. You have been visited by the sniper kidder. Good aim and also accuracy will come your way if you comment, "Snipe well, kidder."